Hello and welcome to the new episode of We Talk Talent Series Season 5, the show where we bring you insightful conversations with top HR leaders shaping the future of talent management. And today we are joined by Nupur Jain, Group Vice President, People, Ixigo. Nupur, welcome, and it's a pleasure to have you on the show.
Hey, same here. Good to be talking to you.
So before we dive into the discussion, I would like to briefly introduce today's speaker to our viewers. Nupur is a leader in people and culture with expertise in developing and executing HR strategies for creating high-performance organizations. She is driven by a passion for defining business goals and organizing significant breakthroughs within organizations. Nupur has also been recognized for being a strong voice of HR at the executive table. So, Nupur, starting with my first question, uh, in your perspective, how do you anticipate the significance of soft skills evolving in the future, and how do you integrate them into your workforce development strategies?
So I just feel, like as the tech ecosystem is evolving, right, with especially
Mm,
with generative AI, it's very natural and tempting to probably assume that technical skills will reign supreme in the future. But
yeah.
the other side to it is that AI and tech thrive only when paired with human judgment, right? So
Mm,
human judgment has become all the more important today, uh, right? So whether it is refining the AI prompts or interpreting the AI output, right? I
mm,
think human judgment or the soft skills, whatever you might want to call it, become
yeah.
all the more important, right? And
Mm,
I also feel that with the way the world is evolving, be it the job markets or education, adaptability and the willingness
mm,
to learn,
yeah.
will become very, very crucial in the future, right? So great talent, the difference between great talent and good talent, uh, would be basis their ability to learn and
Mm,
adapt, right? Because the world is changing faster than you and me probably uh, can, assume.
yeah.
And I think third and the most important thing which I feel is both resilience and emotional intelligence uh, have become very, very important, again a part of say soft skills,
Mm,
because they give you they give everyone, or they empower individuals to bounce back in the
mm,
face of uncertainty, right? And we just
yeah.
uh, we've just all faced the greatest crisis we've our generation has seen, right? COVID. And I
Mm,
just feel that resilience uh, really helped you, right? Whether it
yeah.
was businesses who stayed resilient, come out of that crisis, or individuals, there were people losing jobs. So I just feel that resilience and emotional intelligence kind of will become more important. So
Yeah.
soft skills, uh, I just feel, like even though we are in an age of technology and
Mm,
AI,
yeah.
soft skills I feel are more important than any time they were in the past.
Nupur, could you provide insights into the evolution of your employer's planning strategy over the past few years and its current structure? As-
The employer branding strategy. So see, I honestly I feel that employer branding is not a one day work, right? It's something that that starts right on the day you kind of right from the time of inception. Why?
Yeah.
Because the values that you live, the interactions that you have with your stakeholders, right? And each of
Mm,
those interaction, conversation, transaction, uh,
mm,
is an opportunity for you to create your brand as an employer, right?
mm,
So
yeah.
so I think I just feel that Ixigo as an employer has always, been very, very consistent with what we've stood as a
Mm-hmm.
company, right? We
Yeah.
were always, a frugal company, and we very, very focused on the quality of talent that we
Mm-hmm.
hired, right? So it was always a small team,
Yeah.
everyone punching above their weights, uh, and I think we kept that very, very consistent. So when people joined Ixigo and the interactions or conversations that we have with
Mm-hmm.
potential, candidates, right? All of them know us as a place where, top talent works, right?
Yeah.
So I feel that, besides, say, the other tactical things that a company does by, be it online, offline, on job boards, the activities that go on,
Mm-hmm.
and say outside, participating in events, educating people on who we are. I think for me, it's every transaction or every conversation and interaction is an opportunity, to strengthen your brand as an employer. And I
Yeah.
think that is what is more sustainable, where you live the values in each interaction and in each transaction, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think with time, people know who you are, right? And
Yeah.
that's the real brand. So yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So, regarding the employee engagement, Nupur, especially in the
Mhm.
context of remote and hybrid work setups,
Right.
could you share some of the strategies your organization employs to ensure effective engagement?
Right. So for me, engagement, has multiple, uh, parameters. The top thing for me is
Mm.
how you communicate, or how your organization communicates, right? And
Yeah.
in the, in hybrid or remote teams, I think
Mm.
communication becomes all the more critical, right?
Mm.
To have an engaged workforce. So we've always
Yeah.
over communicated, right? So we have Slack internally. Any company news, any update, any progress,
Mm.
that's happening in the company, we kind of, communicate it through multiple channels, right? Be
Mm. Yeah.
it, Slack, be it through our open houses,
Mm.
be it through interactions that we have regularly with our leaders, and with our teams. So I feel that we've always, erred on the side of over communication, and that's what we also, internally uh, kind of promote, that, since we're a hybrid company, some teams are working remotely, say our CX folks, I think it's always better to err on the side of over communication than,
Mm.
under communication. Um,
Yeah.
we've always also encouraged open communication, and open communication, I think, thrives only when you have created a safer space for people to voice their feedback, to ask questions, right? And I think it's more cultural. So hybrid or remote, I think we've always, encouraged open, transparent communication. uh, the third most important thing for hybrid and remote, teams, according to me, would be investing in employees' well-being, which
Mm.
means that, uh, we kind of ensure people have face time with their teams.
Yeah.
uh, Even when we were, hybrid on a different model where people were, working from their hometowns and they'll come and meet, we've always ensured that there's enough face time between the
Mm.
teams, right? It could be in the form of 2-day offsites. We made sure that we did them quarterly, where the
Yeah.
entire company would go and work from one place. We
Mm.
also do, annual offsite, we also do regular check-ins with our teams, encourage the managers to do monthly check-ins to ensure, the well-being and, work-life balance of our folks. So we check in regularly with people to ensure their well-being. So
Yeah.
so I think those are some of the important things, I think, from the engagement point of view for hybrid and remote teams.
Great, great. So, Nupur, can you elaborate on your DE&I agenda and how it aligns with your organizational goals and values?
Sure, absolutely. As far as our DE and I agenda is concerned, I just feel that I rather start with the challenges that companies have, and I feel that,
Mhm.
and then probably talk about how we're kind of overcoming those challenges, or making efforts to overcoming those challenges. I think
Mhm.
one of the one of the biggest challenges that companies have when it comes to DE and I is the leadership buy-in.
Yeah.
And I'm very, very proud to say that we have a very solid buy-in from our leadership, right?
Mhm.
As a company, we both acknowledge that it is important, and we've also not only acknowledged, where we are in terms of our DNA and DE and I
Mhm.
efforts. We've also
Mhm.
taken some small steps in the direction, right? So, which means that we've moved beyond acknowledging. And one of the initiatives that I'd like to talk about is our program called Fir Se Bharo Udan. Now,
Yeah.
because we are a travel company, we wanted to, brand it like that, where we invite people who, it's more to do with, bringing in more women, solving
Yeah.
bringing more. I know that, gender is not binary, but we invited like a lot of women who'd off-ramped because
Mhm.
of, serving the needs of the family, right? We wanted to bring them
Mhm.
back to the workforce, and we launched this program called Fir Se Bhare Udan, and we because we created a completely remote customer support
Mhm.
team, right? So we saw that there was an opportunity for us to really bring women back to the workforce. So I think that is one of the initiatives we took, and we started with around five people, and today that team is about 110 people team across our
Great.
across our businesses and across locations. Um Again, the other thing I'd say is, people being the existence or prevalence of unconscious bias.
Mhm.
So we constantly educate our managers and leaders uh, on what exactly unconscious bias is, and how
Mhm.
they can avoid the trap of, or avoid the prejudice of unconscious bias
Mhm.
while making interviewing decisions or promotions or career progressions. So so that it's just so inbuilt into our training is an integral part
Mhm.
of how we operate, because I think that education is very important, because it's not that people who kind of end up uh, having that prejudice, it's not that they're evil or they're doing it on purpose, right? It's just
Mhm.
that it's just natural, the way we've been brought up, our experiences
Mhm.
lead to that unconscious bias. So we feel it's very important to educate
Yeah.
people who are making decisions in the organization, right? So I think that is one of the things. So yeah, I think those are two areas where we've taken some small steps around our DE and I.
That's really interesting to know, Nupur. So now that the Gen Z is entering the workforce and born into the digital era, they bring a different set of expectations with them. So what's your take on this, and how do you think that their expectations differ from those of the previous generations?
So I just feel that the current generation,
Mhm.
millennials or Gen Z, I think they're a lot more aware of what they need, because of the access to information. So
Mhm.
and it's also very interesting to be working. I just feel that this is the best time. To be out and interacting with a generation which is so demanding, right?
Mhm.
Because they speak their minds, they're unafraid, right? And they're also extremely driven. So it makes it more challenging, right, to
Mhm.
manage their expectations and to keep them motivated.
Yeah.
So I just feel that it's a whole new generation which is more aware uh, of which is more aware, which has more access to information.
Mhm.
Uh, uh, Extremely, I think they're very, like I said, unafraid. So I think
Yeah.
uh, they have superpowers which the previous generations did not have, because
Yeah.
they're more excited about creating a difference to the world. So
Definitely. Yeah. So my last question to you, Nupur, is that you have been into this HR space for quite a long time now. So can you please share some of the most prominent challenges that you face in this talent acquisition space, and what are your strategies to overcome
so I just feel that uh, it could be very challenging for people who are just starting out, who don't
that? Mhm.
understand recruitment. But I just very strongly believe that talent acquisition works a lot like marketing, where you have to keep doing the right things and set the foundation for an
Mhm.
organization, right, to attract the right kind of talent and build internal capabilities of assessing those, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
uh, so uh, so I think our talent acquisition, I mean, approach has been to kind of be out there, educate people on who we are, what values we live,
Mhm.
uh, and then when you have the you've attracted the right talent, then automating it, right? Like
Yeah.
really automating the whole process through the use of application tracking system. A lot of companies still, right, they're big, but they do not use recruitment automation, right? Which
Yeah.
really
Definitely.
is a big challenge that companies might face. So using the right technology, I think, makes things a lot more scalable as companies grow from 0 to 1, and then from 1 to 10, and then 10 to say 100. So I just feel that automation is a big part.
Yeah.
Also, building your strength to assess candidates, be it through technical tests, be it through behavioral assessments, be it through
Mhm.
founder interviews, culture interviews, right? I think it's important to understand, number one, what you're be very clear on what you're understand what you're looking for, because I think one of the challenges that one companies do not automate, or early stage companies lack the knowledge or understanding to automate recruitment processes. Second is
Yeah.
obviously they sometimes lack clarity on what exactly they're looking at, right?
Mhm.
So, and third is obviously, how do you assess the talents that you're looking for? So I think if you're able to establish, and a good understanding on these three areas, I feel these are three challenges. Obviously, then having the candidate to join,
Mhm.
and attracting the top talent always remain, like a good problem to solve.
Yeah.
Uh, uh, so all in all, I think these are some of the challenges in
Abs-
recruitment.
Absolutely. These are important points to consider. And thank you so much, Nupur, for sharing your valuable perspective with us today. And it's been a pleasure having you on this show. And for our viewers, let's continue to learn and grow together. And don't forget to tune in to the next episode of We Talk Talent series. Have a fantastic day ahead. Thank you so much.